Welcome to the Call to Cinema. I'm Aaron, and I'm doing another video. So I'm hoping that people come in. You see the tweet that I put out there for this here particular video. Why am I doing an earlier one? Well, hey there, Cinematech. Because I sometimes get a lot of like UK or people from other countries coming in here, and they can't normally stay in for the whole thing. Because I do my videos so late. Hey there, Chris. Apologize first, gotta clear my throat. I just finished doing like litter, and after you do that, you know, the dust and that gets up into your head. So I have a collection video. Another one. Hey there, Scholar. But this one, oh man. So some stuff is here that I really wanted to get out. So I wanted to get out the rest of my Arrow stuff, like my regular Arrow stuff, before I get into the Arrow box sets and stuff like that, because I was asked to do my Arrow stuff recently. Hey there, Man vs. Film, including some Blu-ray. I got some Arrow DVD here as well. You know, those cool little white cases that they used to do. I got some Fox Film Noir, some anime. I got some John Wayne box sets. Another company as well, which we'll get into. So the way I thought I'd do this is I would continue along the Arrow path and just kind of work my way through different things. Hey there, Joe. Then you pick the right video, because we're getting into a lot of Arrow stuff. Not just the Blu-rays, but we got some DVD stuff as well. And some of these, I don't know, some of these might be able to print. I'm not quite sure how Arrow and Aerodrome and all that works now. If, like how big of a thing that still is within Arrow's company. So, but I know it used to be like a big deal, like you could get the Arrow, and then you could get the Aerodrome and stuff like that. From the unrestricted view set. There's if you're a Criterion person, you're in Canada, and you're worried about shipping and stuff like that, Unobstructed View is having a Criterion sale starting July 15th. So I'm not quite sure what the sale amount is, but I saw it up there on the website, and I thought I'd let people know. So do you want to start right into this? Want to get right into it? So this is where we're going to do that like thing I do at the beginning of every one of these collection videos. Do you want to do Arrow Blu-ray first? Or do you want to do Coffee? I hope you're liking it. Or you want to do Arrow DVD first? We're going to get through them all. So first couple answers takes the turn in the road. Arrow, Blu-ray or DVD? Because I got them both. Start with DVDs. Okay. So I got a few Arrow DVDs here, including one that is a box, like a window box, which you didn't see a lot for Arrow DVDs, but you did see for a few. I think you're going to like the Arrow DVD pile I got here, guys, because a lot of the Arrow DVD stuff is actually extremely, extremely well done. And I'm super stoked about like the artwork on a lot of this stuff. Some of this is still available, some of it isn't, I don't think. So we'll start off with one that I'm pretty sure is still available, and that is Jaguar Lives, which is an insane film with Christopher Lee, Donald Pleasance, and Joe Louis, the the karate champion. It's a nutty movie. Donald Pleasance is one of my favorite actors of all time, and which a lot of people know. And actually on Twitter, when I was doing the fan cast thing, somebody popped me up there as Donald Pleasance in Halloween. So thank you, you rock. And that was one of my dream jobs when I was a kid. When I was like acting. All right, so next up here is Beyond Reanimator. I do think they should bring back the window box, but only for special occasions. Not sure if you noticed, but I've actually got my hair cut. So I don't have a lot of hair to begin with, but I did get a cut actually yesterday. So this here, as you can see, it is signed by Jeffrey Combs, who I was lucky enough to meet. Very nice guy. I'm going to put these over here so that I can know to put them back afterwards. Actually, not there, because that's where my some of my stuff goes. Next up is I've got like a few different copies of this, including the Vinegar Syndrome edition. But this is the Arrow edition of Christmas Evil. I love the cover of it, so I bought this one, even though I already had a Blu-ray edition, just to have this, like the artwork and the features that are on here. Now, one thing I should stop and probably do like kind of quickly, is that, let's see, did they have it in this one here? Maybe it was Gone by Christmas Eve. It was Gone by Christmas Eve. Like, you still had the really cool booklets, but this one here didn't have the poster with it. A lot of these here have posters, which I'll show you in a second. Just gotta hold on a second. Well, I go to at a range for a second and blow my nose because allergies. Oh, I fucking hate allergies. This is why I despise litter day. All right, so this is probably one of the sexiest Arrow covers you're going to see. Not even joking. And this is Savage Streets. Savage Streets is a favorite of mine. It stars Linda Blair. Now just look at this. Okay. Look at this cover. Hit the like button if you like the artwork for Savage Streets here by with Linda Blair. What's even cooler is this. So it came with a Savage Streets poster. And on the back you see a lot of like early like Arrow releases. Almost all of the Arrow original DVDs, George probably knows this actually because he's in the UK, and so Cinematech too, that would come with a poster as well. Now I haven't put up many of these posters here, but I do want to put some of them up once we go to Morocco, because we're planning our house, our condo, a lot differently than we do right here. Hey there, Sasha. Next up is Slaughter High, which again, a film that I love. I don't like the cover. I don't like the cover art on this. There is reversible cover art. I don't like the reversible cover art either. It was one of the kind of the mess for me when it came to. See, this is the reversible cover art for Slaughter High. You know, Jolly Killer. Was, you know, it's another title for the film in the UK. But for me, it always reminded me of Funny Man, which is a movie with Christopher Lee. If you've seen it, actually kind of. Chris, you got to see Slaughter High, man. And I want to know your thoughts once you see Slaughter High, because don't look it up. Don't find out the twist ahead of time, because the twist is fun for Slaughter High. And like I'm saying, a lot of these here are extremely well done. Next up is Pieces. And although I do have the Grindhouse Blu-ray of Pieces, I will never part with my Arrow DVD of Pieces. And the reason, well, if you've seen the Arrow DVD of Pieces, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's this right here. This is one of the goriest covers that Arrow ever put, if not the goriest cover that Arrow ever put out. And love like the look of it, almost like a shadow-like figure with the Lamont Cranston killed all these people. But does anybody else dig this cover but me? Like, in all seriousness? Like, it's a bloody cool cover. And very bloody, actually. And again, yeah, I won't show the posters for every one of them, but I will definitely show the poster for this one here. I wish I had like a really... You do alternate artwork? Oh, you do, don't you? I forgot that. I think I might. I don't have Slugs, unfortunately. I do have Slugs, but the Midnight Movie, Midnight Madness edition. Next up is one, because if anybody speaks French, I don't want to swear on here, but there you go. So this is a French film. It was very controversial in its time, and I'm sure a lot of you don't know what this means. So I don't. If don't, then you can look it up. You can Google it. We'll go with that. And again, just a brilliantly beautiful cover done by Arrow. They did so many great covers early on. Like they do great stuff now, but just some of these here, like that Pieces cover and one for, they were just off the charts with their artwork. And I love this one for Sleepless. You know what that means, okay. It's a good film, actually. Sleepless is, you know, a gentle one that doesn't get talked about a lot. And if you had never heard of it or never seen it before and you saw this cover, I'm pretty sure this would be something you'd pick up immediately. Arrow is great with stuff like that. It was a classic Terror at the Opera. Terror at the Opera. And I actually love this film. This is the 2-disc edition, so this one here, of course, has the poster art for that, and Terror at the Opera, disc 1 and 2, because there's 2 different versions of the film on here. It's got the, what is it now? International version with choice Italian 5.1 stereo surround and English audio, or the US edit with choice of original track or the Cannes dub audio. So there's a couple different versions of it on here. Really, really cool film. Next up is another Argento one. Not one of his best films, but this is one of the best covers. And that's what you got to do. I'm going to say this right now. If you can't, if the film may not be the greatest film, then you put a cover on it that makes it so, like, so good that you can't help but pick it up. And this is The Card Player. So The Card Player is a, it's not a bad Argento film. It's a decent one, but it's a procedural. It's what Argento made while he was watching CSI. And it was kind of his version of like a CSI procedural type story. So once you see that, it kind of like clicks in to why the film is done the way it's done. It's an Argento version of CSI. But I can't believe I actually lost the viewer when this one came up. It is weird phrasing. Early phrasing, right? But this here, again, who would not want that cover in there? Okay, we're getting to... Okay, we're going to leave this guy till last, I think. So do like his stuff. Let's do a couple more of the Argentos first. So there is Two Evil Eyes, which was an Argento-Romero collaboration, and that they did over here in did in North America, in the U.S. And after this, he would do Trauma, and then he would go back and not make any more movies here, like over in North America, because he did not like the working. The way we did work there. So this is the Stendhal syndrome. I got the Blu-ray of this one as well, but I love this here. This is way better than the cover I got. And Isaiah Argento is gorgeous, so that doesn't hurt either, right? Okay, my first Nico Mastrorakis film that I ever got in my collection was this Arrow edition right here of Island of Death. Now, you're probably going to know that Island of Death came out with a Blu-ray not around a year or so ago. Unfortunately, some of the features that are on the DVD for legality reasons could not be ported over to the Blu-ray edition of it. So I kept my DVD edition for the extra features that are on here. That's a unique film, and I do actually really like Island of Death. I like most of Nico Mastrorakis films. Okay, we got a couple Dallamano films, Massimo Dallamano next, and we go with The Night Child, which actually is a pretty good film, a little underrated. And this is the other one. Blue Movie Blackmail is the alternate artwork. You have the same shirt? Walmart, right? Poor coat. Thankfully, it wasn't a real goat, right? Right here. And this is of course, the beautiful Stephanie Beacham. And if you ever want to see Stephanie Beacham, you're going to see lots of Stephanie Beacham in this movie right here. Actually, I dig that film. Right, next up is the one I told you about, the rare DVD window box. Because, yeah, they did do some DVD window boxes. And this is from the first edition about a Tenebrae. When I was originally buying these here, like Tenebrae, when I was originally buying this, Tenebrae came out on Blu-ray and DVD at the same time. Now, one of the things that was made note of early on was that the DVD version of this one, for some reason, was a better print than the Blu-ray version. It's both from Arrow. Are you serious? You built the wall? That is amazing. You got to get him to sign. You got to get if you got the wall, you got to get him to sign it. Even whether the album or the film, doesn't matter. That's cool, man. So this is what a window box looks like, by the way. It would have like 4 different variations of the artwork, and you could choose from either one. It would have a booklet and would have a double-sided poster in it as well. So I'll show you what a window box. So this is what a window box actually is. This is what it looks like. It was Arrow's gimmick. It was their go-to back in the day. The booklets were really small. Remember they were like these. And unlike some of the regular DVD ones, Tenebrae would have a double-sided one. So you get this one right here, for instance, and instead of having hey Monty's welcome, man. Instead of having the original, on the back they'd have just an ad for different Arrow titles. This one here actually has a different artwork for that. I gotta get my phone out, so I'm missing out your guys' messages, and I do apologize for that. Okay, not now. I swear to God, I open it up and it says just set bedtime reminder. I'm like, what the hell? I need a bedtime reminder for YouTube. And Tenebrae is your favorite agenda film? You have good taste. It's my favorite too. Obsession. I don't have this Obsession would say. I love Obsession. It's my favorite of mine. Because I've mentioned that before, and there's no sacrilege to some people. I prefer Obsession to Vertigo. I put it in like this. See, when you put it in, for instance, I could choose to put it in with this art, and I just put it in like this. I'm choosing to put it in with this artwork here because it's a different kind of unique artwork, so it comes in like this. I got a bunch of Blu-ray window boxes as well, which we'll look at in a little bit. Whether if we look at them today or not, I'm not quite sure. I want to be able to move this so that I can actually sit back. So there's a couple more here to go with. A couple of these are the newer ones, and 3 are from a particular director that I think I might do a video on, so I may leave these at the watch. So this is Reform School Girls. Hey there, Dungeon. I am on early today. And I love this art. As you can see, they've gone into the clear cases at this point. And because I'm a huge Russ Meyer fan, of course, I had to pick up the 7 Minutes, which is an underrated Meyer flick that not enough people actually check out. But definitely one to watch. And there's 3 more. And then we'll go to the Blu-rays. For those who thought I've gone through the Blu-ray. So these are going to have something pretty much in common with all these here. So first up is a classic one, and one of his best films, actually, in my opinion. Definitely has Frank Finley in it and Stefani Sandrelli. Got my ears lowered. Oh yeah, I finally had to, man. It was actually initially on there, but that was only a limited edition. After a while, it dropped off of that title. So I don't think that the one that's out now, the Blu-rays out now, still has it on there. That's why you could buy the DVD afterwards, because it was a bonus for a while and for the limited edition version of the Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. So this is The Key, Tinto Brass. Good film, unique film. It's very different. Where am I going to put this one? Okay, put this over here because I want to watch that one. Next up is the very first Tinto Brass movie I saw, and I am going to be covering the cover because, obviously, this is All Ladies Do It. All the Arrows Region 2. A lot of them are. It really depends on the movie. Thanks. We're doing pretty good, Rubber. I started early today. And this is if you've never seen a Tino Brass movie before, this is one of the ones where I say it's a good place to start. This is a movie that got me addicted to Tino Brass films. I watched that one, and I think I watched Cheeky afterwards. Yeah, he was an extremely talented guy. Dan, that's the thing. Like people like forget like how good he actually was. Now this was a later. I like this one, though it's not. It's not my favorite, but it's a good film. This is Frivolous Lola, and it's got a pretty simple tale. It's kind of a comedy, and basically there's this girl named Lola, and she's getting married. She got a fiance, and obviously she basically her fiance wants to make sure she remains a virgin, and she isn't quite sure that she agrees with her fiance or on that matter. So it's a bit of a comedy that way. Now we're getting into the Arrow Blu-rays, and we got a few here, like some different stuff to go through. So first off is the Lee Van Cleef Western. If you don't have this one, it's really good, and that is Day of Anger. Yeah, I love this film. I actually really do. This one's like a 3-disc edition too. Here's the other artwork on the other side. But I do like this artwork, the 70s style artwork, like better. Because it looks like the poster art. Lee Van Cleef, it's like he's the epitome of cool, man. All right, next up is a Hammer one. There's not a lot of Hammers there on Arrow Video. I'm trying to think. And this is The Hound of the Baskervilles, with Peter Cushing as the titular Sherlock Holmes character, and Christopher Lee, kind of like, hey, there's some, ironically, kind of like in the romantic lead, for a change. He's not a vampire or anything in this one. A very good film. Grand Duel is an excellent film. Next up, we have a classic. That is The Car, with James Brolin. It's a fun film. It's basically Jaws as a car. It's really cool. I don't know how to explain. Yeah, it's fun. Just watch it. It's a fun film. I think Scream Factory put this in it too, right? I'm pretty sure they did. Next up is a classic. And that is Chud. What's that? Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers, right? I think I got that right. Hey there, Dale. Really good film. Great acting. John Hurd, Daniel Stern, Kim Grease, Christopher Curry. Like a great cast in this film. And there's some fantastic features on this one as well. I heard this one went out of print for a while. I don't know if it's come back in again or not. Is it out of print? Is it still out of print? Okay. But I don't know why it went out of print. So if you know, like, let me know. I was just at my local Sunrise Records once, and I was looking at some movies, and my better half was like, okay, I'll pick out some movies and I'll choose some for you for Christmas. I won't tell you which ones I'm going to pick. So I picked out like this stack of movies for her to choose from. I love Duel, actually. They released without the alternate cut. But so I gave her some movies, and I said, okay, she'll pick like 4 or 5 of them. She picked them all anyway. That's what she does. And Chud was among those. And this is one of hers, like favorites actually, the Wild Geese. She likes these. This is her type of movie, actually. You think this would be my thing, but this is like, I like the film, but this is her movie. That one, Dirty Dozen, stuff like that. She's like big on that stuff. Next up is one, and I love this cover. Like, I know Arrow did an edition of this one as well. No, sorry, Scream Factory edition of this one as well. Richard, yeah. But I just love this one, and the makeup effects by Rick Baker, like an early Rick Baker makeup effects, are actually really good. So this incredible melting, and I like just look at the cover. I mean, like the artwork on this cover is incredible. I mean, the artwork is probably the movie is good. The movie's good, but the artwork is probably better, like, you know, than this movie kind of kind of deserves, actually. But but it's a decent film. It's a fun film. Like there's alternate artwork as well, and it's worth seeing. In criminal, look at that. So either way, you got fantastic artwork on this one. I was disappointed by the artwork the Scream Factory put out for it, which is why I didn't grab Scream Factory Edition, which was, by the way, much cheaper at the time. Hey there, Brian. Welcome back, man. Got some more Arrow to go through. So next up is the Comedy of Tears, because I'm a huge Vincent Price fan. I am a Vincent Price guy. This actually is a really good film. I didn't have this on any of my other Vincent Price sets, and I do have the Vincent Price set that came out by Arrow, the one with the big book as well, the one that's kind of out of print. The first edition of that one. Oh, the thing when I do, I'm Peter Lorre does kill it. I'm such a huge fan of the thing, and it went out of print before I could get it. But then Arrow had a sale, and he had like some extra copies, like lying around, and I was one of the people that managed to get one of those extra copies. I know, like YouTube is not great at letting people know, like when I'm going to be on. Another one of my viewers on here actually. Was put a Twitter announcement thing up like, oh, man, I missed you again. All I can say is like just hit the notification bell. I know it doesn't work very well, but it's usually the best way. I like The Swimmer. The Swimmer is it's based on a story. It was in like was it in New Yorker, the New Yorker magazine, and Lancaster plays this guy, and it's not really going to explain it very well, that is getting home by swimming like through these rich, affluent people's pools. And I don't know if I want to tell you more than that, because it's different and it's intriguing, and I actually really like it. But it's one that you kind of got to discover on your own. It's different for like it's an American film. I'm pretty sure it is, and it's different from like a lot of like American films at the time. Unlike it reminds me more of a Canadian style film, in that not everything's pat. Hey there, Eric. And I like movies where I don't like movies where everything's like tied up in a bow at the end of the film. Did you like it, Sasha? Because actually that's a favorite of mine. But it's really hard to explain to somebody what The Swimmer is, and actually say, without just coming out and saying everything, or in a way that's going to make it seem interesting. It's just one of those like you kind of just got a blind gamble on. All right, Remo Williams. Now this is a particularly good one, and this edition is honestly the edition that you have to have. If you're a fan of 80s films, hey there, Alan. And if you're a fan of if you're a fan of 80s action films, one of the neat things on this one here is this one has a feature-length documentary on 80s action films. So if you not only is you have get the really cool Remo Williams film here, but it's called Remo, Rambo, Reagan, and the Reds, the 80s action movie explosion. So it's a 90-minute documentary on 80s action films. Definitely worth checking out. If you have not checked it out yet, and you like 80s action cinema, and you've got like a collection of 80s action films, that should be in your collection. All right, next up is one by a director that you guys know I love, and that is Abel Ferrer, and this is the underrated King of New York. I didn't know there's an Easter egg menu. I might have to go back and look, actually. Next up is The Happiness of the Caracaras, which is Takeshi Mikai, and I'm a huge Takeshi Mikai fan, so obviously that one. Then is one of my favorites is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is the Philip Kaufman edition. This is the 70s one. The features on here are incredible, and I would recommend this to anybody. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is a film that honestly belongs in everybody's collection anyway, no matter what edition you're going to get, but that is my personal favorite edition of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I've had a few different editions of that film down the road, through the years. And because you guys know I like these type of films too, this is Mike Figgis, Stormy Monday, or Sean Bean. Sting is in this one, Melanie Griffith, Tommy Lee Jones. It's a great film, and it's one of those where people say, well, what's it about? And I don't want to say what it's about because I want you to go in blind for stuff like that. Psycho could be interesting. I mean, Psycho is getting a 4K release right now. So that it would have to be a 4K one at this point. Definitely check it out. All right, so next up we got Phantom of the Paradise, which is one of my favorite musicals, and I was in love with Jessica Harper. Like, people my age, who my age wasn't in love with Jessica Harper at least one point. Of course, Paul Williams does all the music on this, and he's incredible. William Finley does a great job as the Phantom. Rest in peace. William Finley was pretty much in all Brian De Palma's movies, even in like Dressed to Kill. I think he was the voice on the phone in Dressed to Kill. So he was like he was in pretty much everything. Next up is the Return of the Killer Tomatoes with George Clooney. I'm not joking. This has George Clooney. And that's the neat thing about it. It goes through almost every genre of music up to that period, and he kills it. I don't know. I mean, like, it'll be interesting to see what's going to be on the director's cut. Like, and how can you do a director's cut of a film and the director's passed away? I don't know. It'll be interesting to find out exactly what that entails. All right, next up is Branded to Kill. This actually has two films on it. It has the Trapped in Lust, which is the Roman porno, basically a reimagining of the film. When it says porno, it doesn't mean porno. It's like Roman porno is a different thing. I feel like these got something wasted on them because I don't know if you can notice or not, but can you see like it's a little wet? So this is Evil Ed. I haven't seen inserts in years, but I don't own it. I really need to get that one. A Big Gun Down, Death Rides a Horse, two must-haves. I don't have the Big Gun Down. I need it. Those are two films that everybody should have, like if you're like a spaghetti western fan. Scalpel, I really like this. It's a Southern Gothic one. And Judith Chapman kills it in a double role here. And it's kind of a creepy double role too, because basically this guy's, his daughter, she runs away, but he needs like to get like how do you put this? Yeah, he needs like the dad, basically her dad, like her grandfather passes away, and she's like she's gonna get the inheritance, but she's nowhere to be found. So he assumes like she's dead. So he comes across a stripper who's just gotten her face cut up by in a violent like altercation in the strip club, and he sees her and he brings her back to, because he's a plastic surgeon. And what he does is he makes her look like his daughter, so that he can get they can basically each get a cut of this inheritance. And in doing so, she starts to live in his house, and they start to have an affair. So, yeah, like, just sit on that for a second. So he's met this girl, who he's made look exactly like his daughter, so that he can get money from an inheritance. But then he starts having an affair with the girl that looks just like his daughter. I hope I'm not the only one that finds that to be slightly unusual. Next up is Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is a Chodo Brothers classic. I love the artwork here. I love the way this is done. And the clowns actually do look extremely creepy in the film. I can't remember like that. And of course, who doesn't have this movie? Bound. Jennifer Tilly, Gina Gershon at their utter like peak, and Joe Pantoliano. So I think the guy from I'm pretty sure he is. I think Christopher Molini is in this too. The guy from Law and Order SVU. He's getting his own like spin-off from Law and Order SVU. The Stabler character is. I think it's called Law and Order like Crime Unit Division or something like that. So Bound is a movie, and if you've never seen it, and Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon. And if you've never seen Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon, please Google both those actresses. Okay, so in this film here, they meet and they have a lesbian affair. And if telling you that Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon are in a movie having a lesbian affair does not make you want to watch this film, I don't know it would. Oh, Oz. Oz is one of my favorite shows of all time. Oz is something that I've rewatched several times, actually. Do I know how long the Arrow film sale is? Oh, you mean the one on Unobstructed View? I'd say it's probably going to end before the new Criterion one starts on the 15th. But if Arrow's having a sale on their own, I really didn't know about that. So, all right. Next up is just a classic, cool one, the James Glickenhaus film. And that is The Exterminator. Did you really get the shoulder tattoo? That is cool. This is a fun little film. A James Glickenhaus, you know, like action classic. Speaking of action classics, there is Big Trouble in Little China, which again is the one that I love. So it was hard when this one came out because it was a really hard movie to promote. Because like, how exactly do you promote this one? Because it's an action film, but it's mystical and there's like comedy. It's just an odd film. Okay, next up we got Hellgate, which is the movie that basically tells you, hey, why don't we make a horror film where Horshack from Welcome Back Kotter, Ron Palillo, is the romantic lead. Because all the ladies love Horshack, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, next up is Brute Force, Burt Lancaster film, an excellent movie. I'm pretty sure that Criterion put this one as well. I love this cover here though. And I love the way that it was done by Arrow Academy. They did a great job in this film. Do I have Dawn and Day of the Dead? No, those are older releases. They're harder to find now. I wish I did, actually. I messed out on them at the time. That was like a big like. What the eye though? This one like if you've ever looked at this movie and you're wondering like whether you should get the Scream Factory or the Arrow edition, go for the Arrow edition. One, it's a fantastic film. Two, this is thank you one of the best documentaries that I've ever seen, like Arrow put out on here, and it's called Donald Cammell: The Ultimate Performance. So Donald Cammell was a director. He directed this. He directed a movie called Performance with Mick Jagger. But this one here, the documentary is incredible. Cammell's a really unusual guy. I prefer Arrow over Scream Factory. Obviously, I like them both. I got a wide collection of both of them. But if I had to choose, I would choose Arrow over Scream Factory. If somebody said, like, tomorrow came in and like, with a gun and said, okay, choose one of your collections, I'd have to go with Arrow. Though they both do great stuff. Like that Scream Factory Halloween set, man. The Manchurian Candidate. Again, this is the classic original Manchurian Candidate. And I have both these. I got both these. I guess one of the other ones is over there somewhere. But this is The Killers. This is which one is this? This is the John Cassavetes version. You know, yeah, John Clifford Lee Marvin. So this is the one with Reagan as the bad guy. I'm not joking. Reagan's the bad guy in this one. I've heard good stuff about Dream Team, and I haven't picked it up myself yet. Oh, I'm jealous, Ragnar. I haven't even got my shipping notification yet. Thieves Highway. You ever notice that I'll like say great stuff about a company like Vinegar Syndrome or Severin or something like that, and I will be the last person to get my shipping notification and to get my stuff after everybody else. So if anybody ever thought I had any pull with Vinegar Syndrome or Severin, nope, no, I don't. These are always a fantastic film. Slowly move these over here. Next up is Sullivan's Travels, which again, Preston Sturges. Love Preston Sturges. Love this film. I do think this one was also put up by Criterion too. I like this cover. Like, there's an alternate artwork on this one here, which is probably more. Got your Vinegar Syndrome? Yeah, I think I saw that. Are you enjoying it? I watched a Vinegar Syndrome movie today, and I'm actually going to mention it afterwards because it's one of my picks as the top Vinegar Syndrome that they ever put out. This is Immoral Tales, and I'm not going to pronounce the director's name because I would like butcher it, but everything that this director does, I like. But this is probably my favorite. And The Beast, of course. The Beast was originally a short on Immoral Tales, but it was kind of taken off. Though I think the short version of it is still here. But then they made The Beast like a full one. Criterion or Arrow? Still Arrow, honestly. To be honest with you, I love Criterion, and I've got like box sets. Criterion kills box sets, man. That Ingmar Bergman box set, the Godzilla box set, but I'd still go with Arrow, just because there's a wider range to work with. I'm gonna get more horror and more kind of like exploitation stuff with Arrow, and you guys know I love that stuff. The Naked City by Jules Dassin, and again, I think this one was put up by Criterion too. But look at this artwork. Actually, fantastic artwork. For some reason, my I gotta open this up because my YouTube like comment section just stopped like around 10 minutes ago, and I just realized it because I can see things on the screen. Oh, come on. Oh, for God's sakes. I keep not seeing the comments because the stupid thing keeps showing me an ad for Star Wars. I don't have the Elvira release yet now. The War of the Worlds one actually sold out on Barnes & Noble, huh? So next up is Burt Lancaster's The Train. If you've never seen this movie, I recommend you see this film. It's excellent. Now we got some Baba here. Bay of Blood, which is kind of like a dark comedy is really what this one is. If you've ever seen Friday the 13th, especially Friday the 13th Part 2, certain aspects of this is going to ring familiar to you. With Blood and Black Lace, which is a favorite of mine. It is a gorgeously shot film with beautiful colors and a vocta of like gorgeous murders. I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's true. Oh, this is not half of it, man. I wish this was half. No, I don't wish this half of it because the worst thing is like traveling with this stuff. It's just killer. And the what's by some considered to be one of the first like giallos is The Girl Who Knew Too Much. John Saxon actually in this one. There's a Blu-ray box for Columbo. $350? Holy crap. I don't know if I can do like a $350. edition of that. All right, this is Cat o' Nine Tails, Dario Argento. This is another one of those where the cover gives away the damn ending of the film, but still a gorgeous cover. Another good Western that a lot of people miss out on is one with Robert Hassan, and that is Cemetery Without Crosses. It was written by Dario Argento. I saw those imprint ones. I think it was Elliot Cohen's video that I watched that had he had the first set of imprint titles that came out. Definitely interesting one to watch. The Big Combo. This is when they're doing the kind of classic Noirish ones, and Force of Evil as well. Oh, I definitely had that too. Robert Hossein is a fantastic actor. The Big Knife with Jack Palance. Again, an incredible film. I'll definitely check it out with my better half. She's a huge Star Wars fan, even more so than me. One of my favorite movies of all time, and one of the ones where when I was studying acting, I would go to this film a lot for monologues, especially one particular monologue. When I was getting ready to audition for a play or something like that, this would be one of my go-tos. That is The Movie Network. Again, a fantastic film. Peter Finch is incredible in this movie. This is the original Killers with Burt Lancaster and Ava Gardner. This is actually the better of the two. Again, cool punch. Anybody that loves Network gets cool punch with me. So Don't Torture a Duckling. And last but not least, for the Arrow Blu-rays for today, is Tenebrae. So just so you know, for the next video that I do, the Arrows that I'll be doing will be the box sets and limited editions. So know that for the next one. All right, so now we're going into some different stuff. Oh, George, you gotta see Network, man. But I keep saying I'm going to show I got a couple John Wayne box sets. I always say that I'm going to show them. And there's more Blu-rays and stuff to show you guys too, and other things. I really tried to mix it up this time around as well. But here is one of the John Wayne sets that I got. And I got them at the same place. I actually got both of these at a video store. And the Arrow sets is next. So the next video that I do, watch out for that, is the John Wayne film collection. And that's some different stuff on here. I'll just show you right there. But I'll take a minute and show you. I have fun with the collection videos. I just hope it don't bore you guys too much. I don't really see an Initiation, and maybe I'm missing something like the Initiation and Nightmare on Elm Street. But I do love both of those films. Initiation is one of my favorites when it comes to, if you're talking about the one with Daphne Zuniga, the twist ending is amazing for that one. But I do understand. Oh yeah, the dream part, right? When I don't know. I mean, that was a thing that was being done at the time. There was a lot of those sleep studies being done. So maybe it was just kind of that they both kind of dealt with it. But I'm not quite sure if they really kind of took one from the other. But it would be neat, if that was the case. Oh, Sasha, I agree. Yes. See, here's the thing. I went to journalism. So one of the things that I had in journalism was this, because interviewing was a big key thing for me, as you guys know. But so I had this book, Playboy's Big Book of Interviews. There's no pictures or anything like that. It's just interviews. It's a hardcover book, interviews from all these celebrities, including the infamous John Wayne interview that's now becoming famous for some reason, but was never famous before. Yeah, so I'll try to keep that out of it though. Okay, so this is the... a lot of some of these, I like Joan Crawford in this. So these are very different films for him. As you can see, there's not like a whole big Western. Thank you, Alan, to a lot of these here. What's this one called? Trouble Along the Way. See, not at all what you expect out of that actor. Trum was an excellent film. I'm somebody that's fascinated with the whole blacklist era of Hollywood, so needless to say, that was like something that I had to watch immediately. Okay, so this is probably some of the more of the films that he's probably more famous for. Is the John Wayne John Ford film collection. So this is A Long Voyage Home, The Wings of Eagles, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. You know, I was never like a big John Wayne fan when I was like younger. Fort Apache, Three Godfathers, but I actually ended up like watching some of his films that when I got older. They were Expendables, but he always seemed to just play the same character over and over again. And this a massive edition of The Searchers, which I do like. But there you go. The ones that you asked for. All right. Blu-ray or DVD? We're going to some of these animation stuff first. All right, let's do this other. I have another company to show you guys because I keep my promises. But before I do, let's do something really quick. There is a Vinegar Syndrome title that I just finally got to sit down and watch recently, actually today. Now, it's probably hands down one of the best Vinegar Syndrome titles I've ever watched. Right up there with Incubus and titles like that. It's a Canadian film, definitely an exploitation film, and it is called Sudden Fury. Now, Sudden Fury is big for a few different reasons. Sudden Fury, well, for me, it's Canadian like thriller. Two, it's very Canadian in the way that that it leaves some stuff kind of up in the air. One of the things that frustrated me when I was younger and that I appreciated more as I got older, as a film watcher, is that a lot of European cinema and a lot of Canadian cinema, and even like the TV shows, really does not like to give you a pat ending, to tie things up with a little bow and just tell you, okay, you can feel good about yourself. Here it goes. They treat you with intelligence, and they leave things oftentimes fairly open-ended. Who's the best Canadian director? Good question. I'd have to think on that one. That's a really good question, though. I like Cronenberg, but I'd have to think about it, to be honest with you, because I don't want to give an answer off the top of my head. I do a Hanna-Barbera collection over there, and I'll do that one in my next video. But Sudden Fury is amazing. I'm going glow ending it. It's just so well done. Unfortunately, the lead, like the bad guy in the film, was played by what's his name? Dominic. What's his name again? Dominic Hogan, who was a Canadian actor, a very well-rounded Canadian actor. He would pass away, unfortunately, the year after this movie was made, with a sudden heart attack. He died at a very young age, and I think it was Julie Amato, that he was with at the time. I definitely agree, one of the top ever released. But what's really neat about this, is that Dan Hennessy is the star of this, and if Dan Hennessy doesn't ring out to you right away, he will. If you've ever watched cartoons, for instance, Dan Hennessy was a Canadian actor that became a Canadian voice actor, and not just any Canadian voice actor, but he's the voice of Braveheart from the Care Bears. Oh, Christine should definitely buy it. That is literally one of the best that they ever put. Tell her that I said it's one of the best they ever put out. He was. It's not going to work here today. But anyway, so he's the voice of Braveheart and the Care Bears. He was the voice of Chief Quimby on Inspector Gadget. God, he did so many voices. Yeah, still tell her if she's like, if she likes Inspector Gadget, she's gonna love this. Let me see something because the voice work that he did, he was in. I know he's in Babar too, as well. So yeah, so the guy's still to this he's still doing great stuff. He was like Father Bear in the Little Bear like animated series. He was the Sentinel in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. He was Rager in Redwall, if you've ever seen that cartoon. He did like a lot of voices on The Busy World of Richard Scarry. A lot of voices on the Ace Ventura Pet Detective cartoon series. He was Ruckus in the X-Men animated series. And he was Thompson, Thompson and Thompson, on in the Adventures of Tintin. He was the Bully Koopa in Super Mario World. A lot like he did additional voices in Hammerman. And for me, from my childhood, for instance, he's George Raccoon in The Raccoons. And if you're Canadian, you know what the Raccoons are, and it means a lot to you. And if you're like a fan of like RoboCop the cartoon series, for instance, he was RoboCop, and of course Alex in the RoboCop series. I don't think I do have the Rio Bravo box set. My dad has it. It's my favorite voice actor. Mel Blanc probably. If I had just off the top of my head, but Dan Hensey's definitely up. Also, oh God, the guy that. Oh, there's so many. Like, I'll do an animation one. We'll talk about voice actors and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything from the Criterion sale. I can't afford to, or right now, because at this particular time, I'll be bluntly honest with you, kind of like bank account is in the red. So yeah, in the red. I can't buy bread this week. So yeah, that's the thing. It happens. All right. So this is the electric chair. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've watched this one. This is number one. This is the very first Code Red that was put out. And Katrina, or Winter if you watch TNA. Hate the Blu-rays. Never gonna happen, man. I just love the Blu-rays. Next up is number 13 in the Code Red collection. So I'm going through my Code Red collection right now. That is one of my favorites, House on the Edge of the Park with David Hess. Just an amazing film. Followed up by another fantastic little thriller. We have similar tastes. Sweet 16 with Dana Kimmel. By the way, super underrated. Chris, if you don't have this one, I know you're collecting slashers as well. If you don't have Sweet 16, get this movie. The Severance has what killed me. Super good movie. Great twist. Put it high on your list. It's a good one. For Westerns, do you like gory Westerns? Does anybody like super gory Westerns? With like really horrible people? Then you need to check out this Spanish Western called Cutthroats 9. So Cutthroats 9 is an excellent Western. It is like, literally like it's a, let me read the back of it. It's the best way to tell you. A band of cutthroat chain gang prisoners are chained together and on the loose as they play cat and mouse with each other in this violent and gritty Spanish thriller. Greed and Gold are the name of the game. It's a 1972 box office flop, actually, that has since gained a cult following. And it's like, apparently when this came in 42nd Street, audience were given like a cardboard mask for people that wanted to like avoid seeing the really gory scenes. They could put a cardboard mask over their face. Love those gimmick things, man. I wish I came with the cardboard mask. Now that I know that. All right, so next up is is the Devastators. And again, it's a fun film. Not the greatest cover, looks like, but still, I actually really enjoy the film. So then we have a David Carradine film from the Roger Corman's post-nuke collection. Hey there, that is Dune Warriors. I actually like this one. I haven't watched it since I bought this one, but I used to buy this one. My better half grew up with like the French version of Inspector Gadget. I mean, I always argue about which Inspector Gadget it should sound like. I was like, it's Don Knotts. Inspector Gadget is Don Knotts. Oh yeah, Doom Warriors is around 80. It's 80, definitely early 80s. No, is it 90s? Yes, 1990, Concord. So wow, okay. I thought it was early 80s. It just had a feel to it. Next up is Wheels of Fire. Again, another the post-nuke collection. Don't you just love the covers on these? My better half speaks English, French, Arabic, and Classic Arabic. And I think that's all the languages she speaks right now. My kids, well, they speak English, of course, and they speak, learn Japanese and Korean. I speak English and I'm struggling to try to figure out French. So they're way smarter than I am. Have I watched The Wiz? A long time ago. The Bruce Lee set looks good, by the way. The label I'm showing right now, Brian, is Code Red. This is The Sisterhood, which actually I kind of dig. I love this cover too. Yeah, Rebecca Holden from Knight Riders in this one here. So basically, if you like the really kind of, she's the second girl, I think, the girl that took over. Remember on Knight Rider in the first season, there was like this, they had like this girl and she was like, she was the girl that did all the electronics and stuff like that. And then in the second season, she went off to college and they brought in this like really attractive girl. I love to speak Spanish. Like the other girl was attractive too, but she was like different type of attractive. Yeah, she's only season 2 because people complained and wanted the other girl back. So she ended up leaving. I would have liked it if they would have kept her and they would have went back and forth between the two actresses. But anyway, she's one of the stars of this one. Okay, well. Next up is Equalizer 2000. Yeah, that is Richard Norton there, man. That's Richard Norton, right? I got to make sure. I'm not lying to you guys. Yep, so Richard Norton, who plays a good guy in a lot of movies, since he's an Australian actor, and he plays a bad guy in a lot of movies, depending on which which Cynthia Rothrock film he's in. Sometimes he's her partner, sometimes he's terrorizing her. Okay, next up is another classic fun one, and that is Silk. I remember my video store had the poster for Silk up for the longest time. I used to want it when I was a kid. I was a teenager. And this is quite the film. Did I say Don Knotts? Missed it by that much. All right, so The Forest. Hey there, JR. Love this cover. Movie's not very good. Love the cover. Would you believe? I love that show when I was a kid. I grew up with that show. They used to play it in the afternoons. Is a Jose Larraz film, and one of my favorites, called Black Candles. Though this is a very raunchy Jose Larraz film, so know that going in. His later stuff did tend to like definitely go like was more the sleazier stuff. And I have no problem with that, but I just want you guys to know that ahead of time. One, that I have no problem, and two, that's a bit of a hide and go shriek. Actually, this is a cool little slasher film. So Chris, put this on your list. Yeah, I mean, like, my better half got to travel a lot when she was younger, and she downplays it when we're talking, and I think it's because that I thought I was a big traveler. Like I went to like across Canada and stuff like that. I went to Maine, but we were like we were like in the car yesterday, and we're going into Sydney to get some stuff, and we see some people that are in a boat, and I said, well, it reminded me that I went kayaking a few times in Newfoundland, and I'm like, so did you ever go kayaking? Think, okay, if she's never gone kayaking, that's something that we can do sometime down the road. She's like quiet for a second, and she's like, I went kayaking once. As I said, oh, okay, so where did you go kayaking at? And she's like, in Rio. So really quietly, she says, in Rio. And I'm like, oh, man. At that point, I'm like, why? She's much more well-traveled than me. It's the point of that story. The Hills Have Eyes 3 Mine Ripper. I don't know if I've watched this one since for years, but I definitely haven't watched this copy of it right here. So I do have to go back and watch this one. And next up is The Being with Martin Landau and Ruth Buzzy. Classic here with One Dark Night, Meg Tilly, Adam West. I was lucky enough to get to meet Adam West, and he was a really great guy, actually. Love this artwork. And this is The Witchmaker. This is one of the Ronin Flicks releases. So obviously this was given to me because I didn't have any Ronin Flicks in my collection. But I hear they're really good shipping-wise, like they're really fast. I'm not quite sure how fast they are to Canada, but I've heard Ronin Flicks have like really great shipping. So I'm not quite sure what their shipping is or how they are. Like, I know they are really fast in the US. Not quite sure how fast they are in Canada. If anybody here is Canadian and you've ordered from Ronin Flicks, like definitely let me know. Because I've been like very much interested in that. Oh, have a great evening there, George. I'm missing some of your comments because my phone keeps like dying out on me. Oh, you're Hispanic. Wow. Martin Landau and Ruth Buzzy. Again, next up is, you think that's good, The Boneyard with Phyllis Diller and Norman Fell. And yeah, that's a movie. And last but not least, and this one is, for some reason, was unnumbered. I think somebody explained to me why, but I can't remember right now. And that is Cut and Run. And I actually do dig this movie. It's, is it like Deodato? Yeah, it is. It's Gregorio Deodato. I got to get around to watching The Boneyard. I'll be honest with you, I have not checked it out since I got it. Okay, so just so I can put these back, I'm going to do some animation stuff next. And I told you, man, if it's a weird combination, I got it. So first off, there is this series, and we are big anime fans here. It's a silent one. Oh. Can you name it? All right. I'm going to wait for you to name it. And it's Ranma Half. So we are huge fans of this show. If you've never seen it, it's really cool. 1 year, Amazon Prime is an Amazon Prime Day every year. Sales weren't as good last year as they normally are. I'm hoping to be good this year because the first year we got, I kind of do because I got John Patrick Wayne film, so, like the Sinbad one, so I got some of his stuff. There's, of course, volume 7. This is the final volume. It's a 7 series, 7 volumes altogether. Oh, this is one that one of my friends gave me. We're waiting to get moved to the new place to put this up. Just like a Nightmare on Elm Street one. Really nice. All right. Okay, let's do these in the right order. Okay, I think these are right. So this is season 1, part 1. Like I told you guys, I was going to have a bit of everything. When the wind, I've seen When the Wind Blows, but not for a long time. Do you ever get into John K. cartoons? I'd have to wait by John K. cartoons. What do you mean? I probably know, and I just don't remember. Well, not just Canuck fan, I'm Canadian, so that's kind of like it's kind of ingrained in me. I have no choice. So this is Sailor Moon. I guess I was a Sailor Moon fan. And this is the 6-disc Blu-ray DVD combo pack. And I think this is the original uncut version. Oh, you mean like the Ren Snippy stuff? Like some of it. This is the original Sailor Moon Part 2. Epic Season 1 conclusion. I don't have all of them, so just know that ahead of time. And then there is Sailor Moon. I got R, I think. Yeah, let's got Sailor Moon R, Part 1. And not quite sure what season. See, that's season 2, I think R is. And Sailor Moon R, Part 2. So we got I think we got all of R, which is the second season. But this is where it kind of goes out on us. We've got I think this is only the first volume of season 3, which is S, Sailor Moon S. As you can see, this was a big one that was done. So this is the first half of it, and then when you get the second half, you can put it here, and then you have it together in a big set. But we don't have the second half yet. That's what we have to get. Now the limited edition one would always include the special booklet, and this is the only one we got the limited edition of. And the other two that I was going to show you is a Looney Tunes Superstar 3-pack. So this is Bugs Bunny, Foghorn Leghorn, and Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote. I got these because I'm collecting Looney Tunes. I've got all the, like I showed you before, all the platinum and all of the gold collection. Well, I would consider them well, in a way they're anime, I would say. So some of the cartoons on this aren't included in those collections, even though those are massive collections. So, and of course, one of my better half's favorite animes is Cowboy Bebop. My oldest, she got her this one year. She loves it. She will never admit that that Cowboy Bebop the ending. She'll never she'll say the last episode didn't happen. All right, so now we're getting into some more classic stuff and film noir. And I might even do a little bit more of the animation. We'll see how things go and how much time I got. So these here are some, let's do this in the right order. This is, I don't have many of them, of the 20th Century Fox Studio Classics collection. So there is Gentleman's Agreement with Gregory Peck. Excellent film. The Day the Earth Stood Still. What's neat is a lot of these have features on them, AMC backstory. For this one, there's a 70-minute documentary on here as well. Loves a Many Splendored Thing with William Holden. And that has William Holden's A&E biography on there, so that's always a neat one to have. The Oxbow Incident, another incredible film. And again, that one has the A&E biography of Henry Fonda on here, so always cool stuff. Three Faces of Eve. And How to Steal a Millionaire. How to Steal a Million. Oh, the remake was horrible, man. Audrey Hepburn and Peter O'Toole. And what's neat on this one is that Audrey Hepburn, again, the biography is on there for her. Now, I thought I'd end off this portion of tonight anyway, for the collection video, with my my modest but still love it, my Fox Film Noir collection. I don't have all of them. Some people have them all, and I wish that was me. So the first one was actually not labeled in the Fox Film Noir, but it is one of their part of the collection. And of course, it's labeled there, but not on the side like the rest of them will be. And this is Roadhouse with Il Lupino and Cornel Wilde, Richard Widmark, of course. That is amazing. Uh, I think she's seen Super. I'd have to ask her. Next up is Laura with Gene Tierney and Dana Andrews. Oh, I don't know most. I'm missing a lot of these. And then, of course, Panic in the Streets with Richard Widmark, looking like Dolph Lundgren. That's definitely not Patrick Swayze's Roadhouse, man. Oh no, it's not a real. No, it's a very different film. Bit of Canadian this one because like it's a road. It's a roadhouse. It's like near the Canadian border. Kiss of Death, a fantastic film. And again, another. Like all of these are great actually. Where the Sidewalk Ends. And I love the artwork, and I love like look at this. I love the uniformity of it. Like the collector in me, like is utterly like adores that stuff. Oh, you should. Kiss Death is excellent. Next up is No Way Out with Sidney Poitier. You're just oh man, the Suncoast in Ontario by any chance? Cause I used to go to I went to Suncoast in Ontario a couple times. Fallen Angel, which is different because it's got Alice Faye, who's primarily known for like musicals. House on Telegraph Hill. Oh, I live in Washington. Okay. Why do I think Suncoast is always like going to be like Canadian? So, got Richard Basehart here. Next up is a classic Boomerang. Like you can't go wrong with the Fox Film Noir collection. You're not going to find, in my opinion, there's not a bad one in the bunch. That's that's what I think of it. I'll Wake Up Screaming. Great, Betty Grable. The underrated Victor Mature, who wasn't just biceps, he was actually a decent actor. This is a different one. I would love to have gotten the Blu-ray of this one. This is Black Widow. It's Ginger Rogers actually, a different role for Ginger Rogers. Well, we mostly know for like musicals and stuff like that, dance films. We got Ginger Rogers, Van Heflin, Gene Tierney, George Raft, of course. His career would be entwined with Humphrey Bogart's and being the guy that turned down all the Bogart roles that made Bogart famous. The Amazing Daisy Kenyon. I'm a huge Joan Crawford fan. Got to close this up again because my God, this has been horrible with trying to get like the comments come up. I do apologize if I missed some of my comments. And the very first one I watched is the very last numbered one, and that is Dangerous Crossing with Michael Rennie and Jan Crane. And I really like this film. This, the idea behind this film has been done so many times. But basically, she gets on a boat and she's got like on the boat. She gets on the boat. She says like, I got a husband, and she's recently got married, but nobody remembers seeing her husband on the boat, and they kind of think she's nuts. So we've definitely seen that like seen like that idea and that storyline before. Now, so I got a little bit of time left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a tiny bit of like of animation from right here before we end this one for this evening, because I'll give you guys like a bit of a shorter video than I normally do. And what I'll do, because this shouldn't take that long, is I got a few Hanna-Barbera here in my collection, and I'll go through those. Like I'll quickly do those shelf by shelf, and there's only a couple shelves there to do those with. And do I have any National Film Board? I should. I'm Canadian, but I don't. So we'll just go through these like really quickly. And if you have any questions on this type of stuff. Oh, cheers. Yeah, that's Freddie and Jason. This is Space Ghost and Dino Boy. I grew up watching a lot of this stuff. This is Spotlight Collection Volume 2. And I got Pinky and the Brain Volume 2 and Volume 3. I need Volume 1. Here is the Scooby-Doo, the new Scooby-Doo movies. This is the best of because all of them aren't here. The Blu-ray has more of the new Scooby-Doo movies. And next up is the Yogi Bear Show, which I utterly adore. Jabberjaw, which everybody should have. This is amazing. And SWAT Cats, the Radical Squadron. I'm really proud of this one. This was a hard one to find. I've seen the Scooby. I've seen all the WWE crossovers of Scooby. Yeah, the Halloween Tree. They're not bad actually. The last one wasn't as good, and but good actually. The twist was good in that one. Dastardly, Muttley, and the Flying Machines. Upstairs is Wacky Races, by the way, which is not here. I got a couple of them upstairs too. So this is Perils of Penelope Pit Stop. This was the third one in the Wacky Races trilogy. Next up is Captain Caveman. The best of the old Tom Jerry one. Well, they put it on Blu-ray, but unfortunately they didn't put a second volume. This is Thunder the Barbarian, which everybody should own because Thunder rocks. The Pebbles and Bam Bam Complete Show, because they got a Pebbles and Bam Bam when they became teenagers. Speaking of that, I got 2 volumes of it upstairs, 2 seasons upstairs, but this is the first 4. Flintstones. Flintstones Season 2. Come on. Flintstones Seasons 3 and 4, and Seasons 5 and 6 are upstairs. I'm watching them now. Top Cat and Hong Kong Phooey. And Huckleberry Hound. Do I like the live-action Flintstones films? They're okay. The second movie had a better Betty with Jane Krakowski. Johnny Quest. I'm a huge Johnny Quest fan. I really need to upgrade this to Blu-ray. And want to see something that's not Hanna-Barbera, but I'm super proud to own it. This one here. So this obviously has like a strong Canadian connection to it, since the star of this film is of this cartoon series is Paul Soles, and Paul Soles was a Canadian actor, and he did the voice of Spider-Man, and of course of Peter Parker. So when he was like Peter Parker, he'd have kind of he'd have a softer voice, and then he would become Spider-Man. I don't have the Nicholas Hammond series, no. And a couple like ones that I'm actually super proud of that I got is this one right here, the Tarzan Lord of the Jungle, which actually is a really cool animated series. As is this one here. I don't have the second season, but this is the first season put up by Shout Factory, Conan the Adventurer, because I'm a huge Conan fan. And since I'm up here, I'll do this for you guys. So this is a bonus for you guys, by the way. So this is X-Men, all 5 volumes, and I love the comic book style art for all of these here. We're huge X-Men cartoon fans here. It's a shame. I mean, like, I wish people were getting the alerts. And speaking of the John Kay, like the work, so this is Plastic Man, the complete series, and there is a pilot for a unaired Plastic Man series on here, and that is by the guy that did Ren and Stimpy, John Krasinski, whatever his name is, which is kind of cool. And if you saw the new DC Universe shorts, they actually did a few like Plastic Man ones that were kind of fun. The Plastic Man ones were good, and of course the Dead Man ones were good as well. And just to throw in a couple others there is the Aquaman. Iron Man. This is the complete one. Yep, it's complete. So this is the complete 94 series. So this is basically, although it's called Iron Man, it's really not. There was a comic book in the 90s called Force Works, which is kind of like an event, like an Avengers kind of like spinoff type of thing. But so Iron Man is pretty much Force Works. So if you're a comic book fan and you've ever read the comic Force Works, then that's what this series really is. But really fun show. Do I have some Popeye cartoons? Well, I think they're out of print now, but I have Popeye the Sailor 1933 to 1938, the classic collection, Popeye the Sailor 1938 to 1940, and Popeye the Sailor 1941 to 1943. These were put out by, I think, Warner Brothers. There are Blu-rays, but they're not of these. They're of the cartoons that come after these here. So if you've ever seen the Popeye Warner Brothers Blu-rays, they're not Blu-rays of these sets here. These sets, unfortunately, have never been given Blu-ray editions. These are out of print, and the ones that they're giving Blu-ray editions of are the cartoons that came after this. That aren't the theatrical cartoons, but are more of the television cartoons for Popeye, which you do find online a lot. Just a couple fun ones right here is the New Adventures of Batman. I don't have the Beano cartoon, and this, of course, is Batman, The Adventures of Batman. One of these here, this one has Adam West, I think, doing the voice, and I think Casey Kasem is Robin in this one. And no self-respecting Superman fan is not going to have the Ruby Spears edition of Superman, especially for the Superman's scrapbook. They'd have like 5-minute ones at the end of the show. And of course, you like the classic stuff. Right here is the Superman seasons 2 and 3. I don't have season 1. But that's Casey Kasem's passed away now, I think. I hope I didn't like prematurely bury him, but I think he has passed on. Which is on my Clutch Cargo. I actually do have like this old, what was it, like one of those dollar store DVDs, and it had some Clutch Cargo on it. But not quite sure where that is. But that's just some. I just want to put in like a few different things there so you guys would have more than just the usual to see. I wanted to make this. Do I have the Batman? I have some of the Batman. I have season 1 and season 4, so I need seasons 2 and 3. I'm not sure if is there more than 4 seasons? So there's season 1, and there's season 4. Of course, I also have, which I guess I'll show since we're here. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? I'll pick those up after. Okay, here we go. This is Batman the Animated Series. I'll just open this one for a second. Show the inside. So this is like if you can see right there, and booklet on the inside. And then like seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. But the booklet's kind of neat, so I'll open that up to show you guys. Like, it's just like a lot of like artwork. Do I have a favorite Batman? Live action? Well, I like the Batman animated series, like we were talking about the voice work, but live action is still Michael Keaton. Because to this day, of everybody that's played Batman, Michael Keaton is the only actor that I've ever seen that, like live action wise, that plays Batman, aside from Adam West, for instance, where I feel like, okay, if I ever saw this guy on the street, or like I ever met this guy, yeah, I could see him like being Batman. I can't see Christian Bale, it's like his character being Batman. Hey, Captain, we're welcome, man. But I definitely see like that kind of like insane drive in Michael Keaton. That's not in any of the other ones. It's in the eyes. A lot of acting is really seriously is in the eyes, and that's important to me. Uh, Keaton gets it. The rest of them never did. Closest that ever came to it was Val Kilmer. So this is Batman Beyond, the complete series. Ben Affleck did deserve better films because I think he could have been a great Batman. Like in all seriousness, I do. I love Batman Beyond. I really think that this could make an excellent film. They could all spin off a whole franchise with this. And much like the other one, here's the... Oh, Chris, have a great evening there. I really have to rewatch this again soon because I really do love Batman Beyond. Oh, by the way, just so you can see what the series looked like in here, it was like... Pattinson's a fantastic actor. If anybody can come close to what Keaton did, Pattinson might be able to do it. I'm very picky on Batman. I really am. Like, and since it's here, might as well show it. Although it's been shown before. This is my Batman 1960s series. Well, you won't get any any disagreements on me with the whole like Superman thing. I'm a huge Superman fan, and I love this because it has like the series and has the car and has like cards of the series as well. Super big fan of this. We got this at Best Buy during Black Friday, and it was so cool because like online there was Black Friday prices. Now Best Buy doesn't normally do like Black Friday like kind of price matching. That's the one thing they don't price match. But the person at the counter didn't know that, so the price match for us, which was cool. Superman. Who I like more? Oh, I don't know. Superman or Batman? They're very different. Ideally, like I grew up with Superman, and I grew up with Batman too. Especially Danny O'Neill's like Neil Adams' version of Batman is the Batman that I know, right? But I like them both. It's too hard to choose. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for giving me a note because it is too hard to choose. All right. Where's the other one at? Oh, God, am I going to be able to get this? And just so I can end off on a couple other things that are slightly different. There is, and I actually really like this one, the Spectacular Spider-Man, the complete series, which is a really good version of Spider-Man. It took me a while to get used to the animation. Oh, Cavell. I'm okay with Cavell's work. It's just I grew up with Christopher Reeve, so Christopher Reeve is Superman to me. And then the other Superman movie, like although it wasn't as good, like that guy was amazing. The guy that plays the Atom, he was incredible as Superman because he did it like Christopher Reeve. Henry Cavill should have had better, much like I think like Ben Affleck should have had better stuff. Henry Cavill deserved better than he got. Like that's the thing. Henry Cavill deserved better than he got. Embrace of the Vampire, which is Alyssa Milano. I had to put that one in there. And for like kicking it old school, just for a second, is after school specials. Now, when I was growing up, this was a huge thing. We had these after school specials that would basically be, a special episode type of thing, where you'd learn stuff. So this one here has A Matter of Time, and First Step, Tough Girl, and The Night Swimmers. ABC, yeah, the ABC After School Special. Remember those, right? I definitely see Hollywoodland again. It's been a long time. I saw it when it initially came out, and I liked it at the time, but I got to go back and watch it again because it's been ages. And they have like some definitely big actors. A very, very, looks like a very young Rob Lowe there. I should watch these soon, actually. The Night Swimmers, starring Jason Hervey. First Step, starring Bonnie Bartlett. And A Matter of Time, starring Rob Lowe. And they'd always have something like alcoholism or like abuse or like something like that. Always something like don't hitchhike. All those type of messages. And some would be like really, really great. And other ones would be like insane. But they'd be fun to watch. Even the really bad ones, especially the really bad ones, would be good because you'd be. They just have this, just basic brutal fun and insanity to them. So there you go. I think I went a bit above and beyond. Like, I don't want to say preachy, but I can see, like some of it seeing that, but I don't. I want to go out on something kind of bigger. Yeah, let's do this. I'm a big fan of Naruto. I have 3 Naruto box sets, and this is the way to go out. So this is a Naruto set. I didn't get anything from Criterion Sale, unfortunately, Babalu. I wish I did. Oh, gosh, myself. I'll do that one again sometime soon. And what's neat about this is it would have something in it. So this is one of the Naruto things. So you'd open it up, and inside, for instance, this one would have the headband thing, and also a wristband. I rarely get these out to show for the simple reason that they're very hard to get back into the boxes after I take them out. And of course, it would have the Naruto series with the Shonen Jump logo on it. I would like to get the rest of these, but this is volume like 1, and I do have volumes 2 and 3. Anybody here like Naruto? Or am I going out on a lame duck because you guys don't like Naruto? Because I'm doing this for you guys. Oh, it wasn't opened. It's collector's edition. I've tried to keep it like pretty much intact. Who knows? Maybe one day for Halloween or something like that. Believe it. If you've never seen Naruto, you're not gonna know what that means. And again, this is the same thing. It's got the headband in this one. And it's I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I do not own it, but I should. And each one has different things in it, so it's not always going to be a wristband. So this one has a necklace. But they all have the headband. I so dread getting these out because they're so hard to get. Well, I did Hanna-Barbera just now. So, but Arrows, the Arrow ones are going to be definitely, Arrow sets are definitely there. '60s Batman movie. I do have 60s Batman movie on Blu-ray. Okay. And the last of the Naruto sets that I got right here. Okay, is this hard when I get out? And again, this has the, what was for this one? Ah, yes. Takes another one of the necklaces, so. And it's neat because it does come in this here, like, bag. For those that don't know, I wonder if they have any of the, I'll show you one of the Naruto sets that I got here so that you'll actually see kind of what it looks like. It's hard to get out. This brings it up to what episode? So this one actually has like the storyboards for episode 28. For this whole thing is just the complete, it's like storyboards for episode 28. This is Naruto, by the way, for people that don't know the show. If you haven't hit the like button at this point, please hit the like button, because taking these sets out and putting them back together again, super hard to do. Just going to put that out there. Please, please, please. All right. There we go. Hey there, Culture Training. Just missed. Definitely check it out afterwards. I did some massive stuff today. Everything from animation to Arrow to Code Red to Fox Film Noir, a little bit of everything. Who are the ones that are disliking? They're still watching, so. I had the same 3 to 4 people that come in and dislike every video. I try not to take it personally. Do you have the Blu-ray of On Golden Pond? I don't actually. Actually, when that movie came out originally, I wasn't a big fan. I watched it afterwards because I did have kind of a crush on Jane Fonda. So that's what got me to watch On Golden Pond. But it's actually not a bad film. But okay, yikes! I'm beat out. I am Aaron. This is my movie library, and I got to put all this stuff back. I want to cry. So, you are the Cult of Cinema. You guys rock. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Next time around, guys, for those that came in late, we're going to be doing the Arrow limited editions, which includes all the box sets, all the Blu-ray window boxes, all that cool stuff. And as always, when I do these collection videos, a bunch of other things that are going to be complete curveballs. Like this one. We started with Arrow and we went to Code Red. Nobody saw that coming. Keep an eye out. I will definitely try and let you guys know. If you haven't, please hit the like button and hit the notification button. It doesn't work all the time, but the more people that hit the notification button, that bell, that actually lets us, gets put farther up in the YouTube notification, so that you got a better chance of getting notified of it. So if more people are hitting the notification thing and are subscribed, you've got a better chance of getting notified when the video comes out. It's a 3-hour one. If I do a 3-hour one, it's gonna be a super chat, because yeah, at that point we'll have to have a great evening. For me right now, it is time for tea, and warm tea, because that tea has gone completely cold. And I will see you soon. Culture Training coming early next time, and we'll have a fun time. Have a great one there, guys. Talk to you later. It is time for tea.